Huh. Good evening and salutations, my soap opera fans. So tonight's question is pretty simple. Huh. Good evening and salutations. Will the Young and Restless kill off Chance next? Okay. So far, they got Cole, he's gone. They got Damien, he's gone. And we know that the actor that's playing Chance is now on Days of Our Lives playing Chad. So that's pretty much the question tonight. Is that going to be next? Because I mean, are they just going to recast? I mean, they really didn't recast Summer. One says, why doesn't anyone record these conversations with Drew? It's funny. Somebody said the exact same thing. Somebody said the same thing. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that tonight. I'm gonna talk about that tonight. I gotta start. All right, let's do roll call. Amy's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Tommy is in the chat. How you doing tonight? At the bank is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Queen of the South is in the chat. How are you doing, Queen? I hope you had a lovely day. I did as well. Thank you for asking. I was off today. Um, Monique is in the chat. How you doing tonight? So we got a lot to talk about, and for people that are watching Young and Restless, that's what I want to know first. Do y'all actually think that they're going to kill off Chance? Because again, um, the Jesus Christ. Because I'm just like, unless they're gonna recast the character, I don't see that happening. I don't, I mean, well, unless they're gonna recast the character, then they're definitely gonna sit there and, they're definitely gonna sit there and kill him off. Now, Tommy says, how do you feel about Martin told his secret? I felt like if it, here's the thing, I knew that was the case. It's kind of stupid if we're gonna be honest. Tommy says, "Why no Beyond the Gates review?" Um, I don't, I don't like the soap opera as much. If we're gonna be honest, Tommy, I really don't like the soap opera as much. Not enough to actually, do a whole review about it. I'll talk about it in the streams, but as far as doing an actual review about it, nah, nah. But we'll talk about it though tonight. I'm just gonna turn on the AC for a hot minute. That's cool. I mean, I like talking about it. And 1 second. I'm still watching it, so like there's still what I'm saying? Like I don't hate the show. I just don't like it enough to sit there and do an actual full review. And even that review is just kind of stupid in a sense. What's good, Francis? How you doing tonight? Monique says, glad Bill stood up to Vernon when Vernon said, I have all the power. And Bill was like, if you had all the power, like you claim, then you don't need me to fix it. Well, he didn't say that. But I thought the same thing though too. I was like, well, if that was the case, then why would you keep? Oh, if that was the case, then you wouldn't need him for help. You wouldn't need him for help. So don't sit there. I'm not gonna lie. Vernon's a fucking idiot. Vernon is a goddamn idiot. If we're gonna be honest, because how are you gonna sit there and say, well, we just had to sit there and pay him, bro? You paid him years ago and he came back. You cannot be this stupid. You can like he's supposed to be the whole, matriarchy and everything like that. I mean, patriarchy, but like, bro, if that was the case, you would have took care of it. You know what I'm saying? Like your stupid plan didn't work. And you're like, oh, well, we just have to pay him more money. That's your fucking plan. Francis says, I think Chance will get killed. Yeah, see, that's my whole thing though. Like, I feel in a sense like yes, Tommy. I saw that in the first episode. The first episode. The first episode, which that's when I thought the show was actually going to be pretty good. Ed, what did you think of what did you think of Days of Our Lives? It was good, Sean. What did you think of Days of Our Lives? What's good, Sean? Smitty bag is Martin's bag. Monique says Bill even said with a guy like that, he's going to keep coming. Exactly. That's always like, bro, why are you? And what's good, Ronnie Ron? It was okay. Yeah, it was just okay. Yeah, it was just okay. And Ron says, how do you feel about okay, do you feel bad for both Ari and Holly being put in danger because of Doug's death? Doug's an idiot. Doug is an idiot. I'm not gonna. I don't even really want to go into how I feel about those two. Um, it's a soap opera, so I can only feel so much. So I wouldn't necessarily sit there and say I feel bad. It's just like, um, you know, I don't have the same emotional investment that other people do with these soap operas. Now, Francis is over B&B giving Liam and Mary Cure Sutton surgery is crazy, so unbelievable. I'm glad he isn't dying though. See, this is my issue. They did this shit again. They did this shit again, and everyone knew that they were gonna do this. And part of me was like, I knew it too, but I was kind of hoping that they were gonna follow through and actually, kill him off. I'm so disappointed in Born and Beautiful. I really am. It was good, Allison. And Kristen says, "Hey, I've been in chat. I'm crossing my fingers that Daisy and Sasha get out of town before that baby gets taken again." But yes, Allison, how are you doing tonight? I hope if I miss you, I do apologize. Because you saw her in the beginning, and people probably can't sit there and see you because, oh Lord, here we go again with the fucking Jesus Christ. But yes, what's good, Allison? If people can't see Allison for some odd reason, it's because YouTube is just being stupid. But she does sit there and say hi to everyone. And don't worry, Allison, they're not ignoring you. They just literally cannot see you. They cannot see you. So, um, Ron, didn't you have that same conversation with me about Marcus, whatever you said to saying that he shouldn't have to do his final scene because um you know what's good, Crystal Ramirez? No, Ron, that's not professional. You can't not do your final scene because you're gonna be fired. That's not how any of that works. Okay, Ron, I don't know why. It's yeah, YouTube is being weird in a sense. Okay, so I'll say this again. When you go to live chat, when you go to the chat, there's a gear button, and you have to click on the gear button, and you have to go on to chat filter, and then you have to go to all messages, and that's how you're able to sit there and get it. All right, Dad, I will. Everyone, my I'll say hi to my dad. Oh, Double C's in the chat. What's good, Double C? Ed says I enjoyed the Smitty standing on business there, and Martin definitely getting kicked out the house tomorrow. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's great. Um, I don't know what to say to that. I don't know if that's a question or you just wanted me to read that out loud, but I don't know. The way I looked at that was just like, first of all, I find that to be just so out of pocket when you sit there and start kicking somebody out the house. Like, bro, we both pay rent up in this bitch. How in what universe you honestly think you just gonna kick me out the house like I'm just gonna be cool with that? What yeah, what's good, double C? Ron says, I understand being professional at your job. What I'm saying is the way he was treated. Why would I do those final scenes? I don't blame Marcus. Well, then you wouldn't have. Okay, let's put it this way, Ron. If you did what your Smith did, telling the actor to do, you wouldn't have another job moving forward. That's how that would work. Because people would sit there and look at that and be like, and how was he treated? How was he treated? You can still pay half the bill, but be in a hotel. Yes, that's actually very true, Francis. I read the same. I read the article. Um, actually, my lovely Queen Cat lady actually sent me the article. So yeah, he knew for a while. He knew for a while. His character ran his course, really. I feel like they could have did more with his character. But to be fair, I feel like a lot of times in some of these situations, they can generally do more. Yes, that's if somebody said, I don't know if you said that, but somebody said that in my chat, and Monique said the same thing, like, just record him doing that. But see, my whole thing is like, since we're talking about General Hospital now, Portia, you got yourself in a situation. I agree, but you didn't apparently. I agree, but Wynar didn't apparently. Yeah, I just, I felt like it's like his journey was literally just starting. That's the thing. His journey was literally just starting. He just started to I can't put up with Lily though. I know she was hell of annoying. She was hell of annoying. Like, oh my goodness. All right. I'm just gonna sit there and say this after I read Eagle Fame's comment. Eagle says, where do you rank the recasting of Michael? Um, Where do you rank the recasting of Michael? Also, Portia and Curtis should at this point use the media to their advantage and just complain and tell them why she did what she did. Yes. Throw yourself at the mercy of the court. Yes, I agree with that. Okay. I'm just gonna sit there and say this now. There's 23 people in this chat. There's only one of me. I'm not gonna get to every single comment. So just, understand that and don't take offense if I don't read your comment. But why the hell did it why did Eagle oh, there it is. I mean, it's good. It's really good. I don't know if I would have a ranking system for it, but it's pretty good though. Like he sold it, you know. Some people take a while before you get used to them. Um, Even with Christina, I'm not fully used to it. I accepted it, but like I'm not necessarily used to it. And thank you, Francis. Obviously, only one person can't get to every comment. Yes, so just keep that in mind. Why did you not read my comment? Oh, but yeah. So I don't know. I would sit there and rank it. I don't know what I would rank it. But I would sit there and say it's pretty good though. You know, he sold it in the first scene. Um, yeah. Oh, nice, Eagle, nice. I'm gonna have to check that out. Thank you. Yes, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna definitely check that out. I'm gonna definitely check that out. But Ed, you know how Michael Fairman is. He be getting those interviews. He be getting those interviews. Autumn says, Albert, why didn't Portia just tell the truth? Get a damn good lawyer. I wouldn't have left called Drew. Oh, I would have called Drew's bluff and tell him to just do it because I wouldn't have let him blackmail me. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's stupid, you know? It is. It's really dumb. Ron, and what's good, cherry ice cream? Thank you for joining. But the thing is though, like, the thing is, Ron, they didn't necessarily treat him bad. They let him go. That's how employment is. But you're still required to do your job, regardless if you felt like you got laid off too soon or not. Um, what the it was nice, Ron. It was nice. And I'll tell you why in 1 second. Just give me a second, Ron. Jesus fucking Christ. It was a decent scene, Ron. Yeah, it's nice not always having those two snipe at each other. It was definitely a different change of pace. Ed said Laura Ray also was on State of Mind, and it was. Oh, you mean recently? Was that recently, Ed? And Francis said Jermaine maybe will go to the gates. See, okay, here's my issue with that a little bit though, Francis. Here's my issue with that. I get it. Okay. I don't want Beyond the Gates to be this refugees for black actors that have been on the other soaps and that hasn't worked out to just go there. You know, like it would set a bad precedent. Okay, thank you, Allison, and thank you, Ed. Appreciate that. Thank you both of you. It would set a bad precedent. Be like, well, maybe they should sit there and take the guy that plays what's his name, Zende. If they don't do shit with Zende on BNB, oh, just put him at the gates. It's like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be a refugee for actors that aren't getting their just due on these soaps. Monique says, yeah, if I was Portia, just go ahead and tell. But then imagine that Willow has of you will be destroyed, but you won't do it. Hmm? Tommy says Smitty's tired of Martin. Yes, he is. And, listen, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. You can only sit there and deal with lies and deceit and things of that nature for so long before it's like, all right, enough is enough. Now, Double C says, why all the black actors got to go beyond the gates? Why not Days? You see what I'm saying? Though? Yeah, exactly, Double C. That's what I'm sitting there saying. Like, it will definitely set a bad precedent. You know, I, that was my mindset in the beginning too, and then I was like, nah, that's all the product. Why does it keep? Jesus fucking Christ! Vanessa stayed doing too much, But you know what? I have an issue though, Ed. I have a bigger issue than that. Yes, that was. She was annoying today. What I have an issue is where people are coming to the actress that plays Vanessa and DMing her all these nasty and vile comments about her character. That's what I'm having a problem with. Because yes, Vanessa, she's I don't like the slut shame. Oh, it's all good, Double C. It's all good. Now, Autumn says, why is Drew up here fighting for kids that's not even his? Where's Scout? Drew, how about you take care of Scout? She's your only daughter. You here fighting for someone else's children? What a joke. And Francis says 29 in the chat and 12 like. Yes, hit that like button. I'm going to hit that like button too. Wow. Yeah, that like ratio is hella low. Let's hit the like button, people, because it does help. Trolls out here need to separate fact and fiction. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Sean. That's one of the things that really okay. There's a couple of things that irritate me, and I'm not gonna sit there and say what they all are. But one of the things that do irritate me is that because that's a very out of pocket thing, you know. You want to sit there and talk shit about the character, fine, but don't bring that shit on her page. Like she is a fictional cat. She's playing a fictional character. And this is my issue. This is my issue, and it's gonna probably rub some people the wrong way. But this is what happens when people get a little bit too emotionally invested in these fictional characters. Okay, exactly, Sean. But also understand that you need to, there needs to be a healthy, there needs to be a healthy um, boundary between um, you liking these characters for the show, but also understanding that it is just a show. Now, Krista says Willow hasn't been interesting in years. I have watched her break down more than once. I give kudos to the actress. See, that's another issue, though, right? Allison says some people can't differentiate real life from fiction. Yes. Um, it again, it comes down to this emotional investment in these characters and taking it to a point where it's just too far, where it gets too far. This is why when I see people um this is why when I see people come in my comment section and be like, I can't believe you bash this person, you bash that person. It's fiction, who cares? Which, by the way, I don't. Let's just be very clear about something. I don't bash characters. I will criticize them. I will critique characters. I don't bash characters. But when people come up to me and they sit there and say, "Well, I can't believe you said that. That's so mean." It's a fictional character. Why are you so mad that I talked about your fictional character? Go outside and touch some goddamn grass. Holy shit. Ron said that's why I like Phoenix. He said that if he catches Minion as the comics, yes, yes, he's a super block. Yes, I know. I didn't. That's kind of a whole sentence, but it's a whole lot. But yes, I do agree with that, Ron. Mike says three opinions. Unless you have another, do you think Brit is back as Brit or back as a twin? I know. I think that I hope that she's gonna be back as Brit because if they can go the twin route. But I think it's so lame. It's such a 90s cliche. It's such a 90s cliche. What's good, Jonathan? And how about that Beyond the Gates, right, Jonathan? We just talked about that. We're gonna go right back to that. It's such a cliche. I hope that they don't do that. I really hope that they don't do that because it'd just be stupid. Be lame. You know, I've made this I've said this a couple of times. I personally don't care that Brit is coming back. But if you're gonna bring her back as Brit, right? Just like the Erica Slazak, right? Bring her back as Vicky. Don't bring her back. It Ed. Ed is killing it, baby. Ed said GH already failed with the Emily and Rebecca. Yep. Mm-hmm. It was like, oh, we got to sit there and correct this. Well, I guess that didn't work out. Ed, you effing genius. Yes. Spikewick says, if she's back as a twin, I'm gonna be so angry. I'll be fine if Britt thinks she's someone else with memory loss, like how Sunny was when Nixon falls. Yes. Like Ed said, they tried to bring back her. Was good, Darby? Speaking of touching grass, when was the last time we heard from boy had an ex criminal friend, Mason, aka Nathaniel Gray? That's a good question. That is a good question. All right, I'm gonna sit there and answer your question. Yeah, hopefully we'll see him soon. I'm gonna answer your question, then we're gonna talk about Beyond the Gates. So if I miss some questions, don't like repeat them like 14 times or something, or 4 or 5 times. That's annoying. Ron says if you decide to attend the Emmy Awards and fans start attacking the actress playing Luna by cursing her that I hate her, what would you do? I'll sit there and tell them that they can go and F themselves with a spike dildo. That's what I'll sit there and tell them. Go out there and get some goddamn help, you goddamn losers. That's what I would sit there and say. I would sit there and call them a bunch of goddamn losers. Now, Krista says crazy people have been bullying so actress forever. Heard one of the villains from Like Love was slapped by a fan because she was so believed was a villain. Social media has just made it worse. Social media has made it worse in a sense because now you can find ways to bully them even more. You can come at them even more sideways. So yes, in that sense, yes. What I don't like, Krista, and you make a very good point. Social media has made it worse. Monique says rumor has it that she's casted as Monica long lost sister. Oh fuck no. Yeah, but see the thing is though, Jonathan, I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get to Beyond the Gates. So Jonathan says Luna may not actually be going because she's still listed as a cast member. Nicholas Chavez, even when we knew that he was gone, was still listed as a cast member, but he was gone. He was gone as well. He was gone as well, and the same thing with there's no reason to have Eric on JJ. There's no reason to bring back Britt, but we're doing that. I'm glad you caught that, Francis. Okay. Allison says social media makes everything worse for kids and stupid, crazy people. Okay. Is it social media that makes things worse, or is it people that just make things worse? Right. I feel like the problem is, I feel like when you start blaming social media, you start blaming sites like TikTok, you start blaming sites like YouTube and things of that nature. You're taking the responsibility away from the actual kids that are doing this stuff. You know, it's like people sit there and blame TikTok for people doing stupid things, but it's like it's not TikTok's fault; it's people's fault. You know, social media is a tool; it's how people use it. It's the same thing with guns. But yes, yeah, exactly. Double C. It's what people do with social media and react sometimes. Yes, I get that, Krista. I do. But like, which is why I stay away from others. But I don't. I get what you're saying. Like, it makes it more easable. I do. I just I don't like to put the blame on social media because I feel like that just basically sits there and says that people are less responsible for their actions as opposed to the people that are doing it. Because that could be the same thing for anything. That's my issue. But we can agree to disagree on that. I don't want people to sit there and not take responsibility for their own actions, and just it's easier to blame social media instead of the people that are doing it. And what's good, me, Cobb? It's been a hot minute. How the hell you been? Like Quick says, Albert, you're right. We don't need Brit back, but I'm sure as F want her back, so I'm glad she's back. I mean, I get that, but see, yeah, I know a lot of people are happy that these characters are coming back, and that's cool. I don't see the need for just throwing a bunch of characters on screen, and then they don't really. And that's the thing, though. People were excited that Lucky came back, and you saw how that went. Uh, Ron said these people might attack you and curse you out. Let them. Let them. I'll still call them a bunch of losers. I wasn't really trying to go back and forth with you, Krista. I just, yeah. So I hope you didn't take it that way. But that's the thing, though, Francis, right? Like, people were excited that Lucky came back, and then look what happened to that. And I'm not sitting there saying that that's going to be the same thing for Britt, but like, okay. So, yeah, Jonathan, I've been meaning to get back to this. So, Beyond the Gates, I feel like in a lot of ways, this was just really stupid. Like, I called it. I literally sat there and said, well, this is going to be my gorgeous queen cat lady. All right, good. But, like, I knew this was just going to be a robbery gone wrong. I knew it was going to be a robbery going wrong. And that's exactly what it was. I'm like, okay, the only way I feel, okay, Spike Quick says, but the only way I feel Kelly's return to GH is if she a twin or a lookalike. That's right. That's right, Ronnie Ron. That is correct. That was 100% correct. He's speaking facts right now. She's so feisty. Um, but yeah, I knew it was a robbery going wrong. I knew it was a robbery going wrong. And I'm like, bro, all you had to do, because you was so busy sitting there. Oh no, Allison, I think that he's talking about the other Kelly. The actress that plays Brent. All you had to do was sit there and tell the goddamn truth. You was so worried about protecting your career and everything like that. It was simple. They got accosted by two Proud Boys and they defended themselves. Like that was it. Well, yeah, cat lady, because YouTube is still doing this top chat bullshit. Um, Remember Ronnie Ron Be Nice? She's the super moderator, not just an ordinary moderator, the super one that I texted and didn't get back to me. So I could say that but those two white kids were racist as F, but I'm starting to think Martin might be too a bit Smitty. Better watch out. Tracy Steves, damn. Happy Wednesday, Tracy Steves. How are you doing? Okay, Ryan. Just making sure. But all right, well, one, I'm gonna sit there and switch to my laptop since it's finally finished charging. I had some clips I had to sit there and update. Well, have some clips for potential video. Well, hopefully so. No, Callie, remember you have to sit there and hit the gear button? That was my shit at. Yeah, you have to hit the you have to oh, can't see it, but you have to hit the gear button yeah, you have to hit the gear button. Spiker says to me, though it doesn't make sense, like why did Martin go up on them too? That's bad. Where he where he loses control. Well, I mean it's true, Ed. You know they're fast tracking that shit, especially by that speech when 1 second, Krista, especially by that speech when Jack was like, you need to be believable as a couple, so believable that even I'm fooled. So yeah. Okay, now Krista says, do you think Kai will get the TJ treatment and just disappear? No. Um, he hasn't been on long enough. They need him to be on a little bit longer before they decide to give him the TJ treatment. Now, Monique said, I just noticed the crown with 75 XP. What is that? I think it's how much you talk in the chat, how much you participate in the chat. I think you get like certain points or something like that. Mikab said, "How was YNR? It was okay. It wasn't great, but it was okay. I mean, you can miss it and you'll be fine. I'll sit there and say that much. You can miss it and you'll be fine. Um, Lily was annoying the hell out of me, but Lily has just been on one for a hot minute. I didn't know what that crown was. I don't see what you mean, but it's okay. Just say hi. No, Cat Lady, you told me about it. You literally told me about it. You literally sat there and said you had to go to the gear, and like there's a gear button. You go to the gear, you hit chat filter, and then it's going to give you an option. You just click all chat. I would love to sit there and say yes, Spider, and I hope so. But with Beyond the Gates, they have a way of like um dropping the ball. Like they don't know how to sit there and follow through stuff. So for right now, I'm gonna sit there and say I hope so. And Johnson says Lulu works for the Landview Banner and Vicky Lore is her boss, so Erica is most likely reprising her role as yeah, it would make more sense than them just bringing her back as another character. That's just stupid. Like, why would they do that for? I mean, One Life to Live does exist in that universe, just like All My Children does. I mean, I could do that run, but I think I'd rather just sit there and call them a bunch of losers, though. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Callie. You taught me that. She's gonna be. It wouldn't make any sense to sit there and not have her play Vicky. Exactly, Jonathan. So like, it just it wouldn't really make any sense. What's good, Allison? Yeah, cat lady, Monique came in here and she said the same thing, which I'm really hoping is not true, and I think most of the fans are hoping it's not. Yes, what's good, Allison? I see you. I see- I did say hi to you when you first came in, right? Okay, let me just answer this question, please. Albert, my question is that I want to know is why Martin lost control like that. The hints the Gates gave kind of made it seem like it was two white people trying to attack him, but he's married to a white guy. Like I'm so secure, why should he lost control? Okay, so the reason why I feel like he lost control is it has a lot to do with PTSD. Oh no, I'm back. I just had to switch. I had to switch devices. It's PTSD. That's the what's good, Queen Jess? Explains all the nightmares and everything like that. It's PTSD. That's the reason why he can't really sleep so much. It has nothing to do with like, oh, he's afraid of white people or anything like that. It's more PTSD. Him losing control was just it's a symptom of that. As says also Martin and Verna are well respected in communities, so the cover up wasn't necessary because it would if it wasn't straight murder, then it was self defense. Exactly. And they made the situation a lot worse than it needed to be. Yeah, they made the situation what else my goddamn music? Is that and just and what did you think about that secret too? What did you think about that secret? Johnson says that Vanessa is still all in with Joey. Vanessa was just doing way too much in that scene. Like she really was doing way too much in that scene. And it took Joey to sit there and get upset and practically tell her to shut up. And all she winds up doing is just wind up just sleep with this dude. I'm like, girl, what is your problem? Like now, Allison says Martin should have told Smitty what happened. Martin is not a good husband. Martin explained why he didn't tell Smitty the first time. But like when he came back into town and she knew who he was, um, like when he started going towards the kids and stuff like that, that's where the problem was. Just as he definitely dragged it out, it was self defense. It didn't even exactly, exactly, Jess, exactly. Oh, that's the old one, right? I don't know who that is. I'm assuming that was the one before. It was good, Krista. Yeah, that fight escalated quick. Oh, that's coming out. That's coming out. What's good, Jay Blue? 1 second. Thank you, Krista. Johnson says, I hope Portia learns her lesson and let Curtis know what Drew new demand are, and that she turns herself in before she gives herself a longer sentence. Ex- exactly, Jay Bloom was good. Why does this not allow me to fucking go down? Spider, I think you should trust Jess. She knows her stuff. Now, Johnson says, "What do you think of Gwen moving into the mayor's mansion?" Kind of stupid, but I guess they can't keep using the N. They can't keep using the Salem N. So I guess it's fine, but it's just like she's acting like she really got rights to stay there, and I don't feel like she does. I don't know if you saw. I don't know if you saw my review, but I'm like the kid staying there makes sense, right? You know, whatever his name is, Leuschner, he was able to stay there because Megan was his mother, and Megan is a child of Stefano, so that makes sense. Wednesday, they're trying to throw around her weight, talking about, well, I'm just going to sit there and stay there. I'm going to live there. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like, okay, whatever, fine. Now, Cat Lady says, my job is to hit the dislike button and house the channel. That's right, baby girl. That is right. This is why I had to take a break from Beyond the Gates all this damn time. Y'all was holding this. Yeah, exactly. You know, it's funny, Jazz, because Spider said no. Spider said no. And I want to believe that they followed through, but but you know, B&B has a. I mean, Beyond the Gates has a problem. I don't. I think you just click on a profile and you just hit unblock. Like literally, it's going to sit there and say unblock, Tommy. So yeah, that's all you really have to do. I think he blocked her. Yeah, he blocked her by accident. Um, what's good, Amber? I'm like, all you have to do is literally click on. Well, shit. Oh damn. But yeah, you can't actually click on her. What's good, Dolometics? Johnson says now Belle was pissed with EG yesterday. Could she could she be done with him, or is it just another back and forth? Just another back and forth. It's simply another back and forth. Tommy, Jess. Let's see. Here's my thing now, right? Here's my thing. 1 second. 1 second, Ed. Belle doesn't even really make any sense because like this whole scene is so out of pocket. Belle and EJ in bed. Um, he. It's just like okay. Ed says I think Gwen is EJ's silent partner. That's why EJ let her stay there. No, you said that in my comment section, but yes, I do remember you saying that. But if that was if that was take a drink oh, I have the bottle on the floor. I did, but thank you though. But if that was the case, Ed, then he wouldn't have been acting so standoffish though a little bit. Tommy, I think what you have to, you know what, fuck it. I mean, all you really have to do is just like go out the chat, type in her name, and then hit the unblock button. Um, I knew that was the case. Domex, I knew that was the case. I said it from jump. So I wasn't even too surprised. I just think it was just dumb that they sat there and he did all that stuff. Okay. He did all that stuff. Like, bro, you could have made your life so much more simpler if you just would have sat there and told the truth. But I knew that was gonna happen. I mean, I knew that was the case. I knew it was a robbery went bad. I was like, bro, most likely it's just self defense. Like, seriously. Now Kelly says he won't be Albie. He won't be able to just oh. Oh, really? Chris Krista says, Albert, have you enjoyed any characters returns? Jason's. That's about it, Krista. Jason's. Yeah, no, just Jason. I haven't really thought about anyone else. Now, Johnson says, but what if AJ becomes drawn to Gwen? Um, I mean, yeah, I guess anything's possible, Jonathan. I think anything's possible. Um, I don't see it, but yeah, Rick, yes, yes, that's true. Rick is another character. Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, Rick is another character I enjoy. Yes, I think this was Sunday night. Just members live. Yeah, no, and I don't see. Jess is not a member anymore. I noticed that when you first came in, but I didn't want to say anything right away. I'm when? What? But yeah, no, Jonathan, anything is possible, I guess. Yeah, I saw that. I was like, and that's the thing, Jess. We've been missing you in the chat. And I remember when Jess sat there and said, Jess was like, oh, I forgot all about the member streams. And I was like, well, goddamn, okay. I was like, shit. No, it was definitely impulsive decision. And thank you, Dolometics. Dolometics just gifted a membership. That is awesome. Let's everyone thank Dolometics for his generosity. Seriously. And I actually just finished watching, well, not all of Hollyoaks yet, but I think I'm on Tuesday's episode. Yeah, seriously. Let's everyone thank Dolometics. And it says, Albert, Anita bandmates calling her phone. I'm glad she ain't picking up. Yeah, because I'm like, why the hell would she want to sit there and hang around with those dusty ass broke losers? And that's what it comes down to. You know? They are a bunch seriously, they are a bunch of old um bitter ass losers that are jealous of Anita. What do you think of the character of Tom? Who's Tom? I mean, are we talking about Beyond the Gates? But who's Tom? Oh, wait, what show are we talking about, by the way? Have a good night, Krista. I'm the only one who's on Tracy and Sharon's side. Um, maybe I guess so. Oh yeah. No, but who's Tom though? Is that Tom? I'm trying to think of who Tom is. Who the hell is Tom again? No, seriously, who's Tom? I mean, Tom. No, no, I know Tom. I mean, no, I know you're talking about Hollywood, but I'm saying like who is Tom though? Oh, he's in jail right now. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I may not be up to where you are. Yeah, I may still be. Yeah, J Blue says, "What's the name of the first episode of Hollyoaks? I'm trying to find to start watching it. What year did it start? Dolomedics? Dolomedics is actually. I thought they showed him on the American side this week. Unless they showed him on Wednesday or Thursday or Tuesday. I don't exactly remember where I am, but I'm. They didn't actually show time so far. No. Ron says I won't mind EJ with Gwen or Cat Bell is delusional and needs to be checked into a mental facility. Wow. And Domex, and that's yeah, who asked that? Yes, that's Jay Blue. That's that to answer your question. Unfortunately, not Jonathan. I really don't. Um, I don't think it's over. As much as I would want it to be over, because let's be honest, those women are annoying as. Calais says Randy's still around. Randy left town. The last time we checked, Randy left town. No, but he's not dead now. Like he should be. Haven't they shown Grace brother in prison? I haven't seen it, but like where am I on Hollywood? Because I think the last time I actually sat there and watched it was good, Amber. Sometimes it's so much better to watch it on my phone. The last time I was watching it, they're talking about Bobby and stuff like that. Now that dude skipped town. He was supposed to be dead, but because Vanessa and Doug kind of stepped up for him, uh, they got him to back down off of Orpingham. So they got him to sit there and Domex says I might be a little off one episode because I'm trying to just focus on the American releases stuff, but they also have the UK ahead. Yeah, I'm up to the episode where Frankie just found out that Jacob is hiding Mercedes' son. I don't even know what Mercedes' son's name is, but she found him in a trailer.
That says my problem with Anita's bandmates is they keep looking at her like she's still that 20-something young woman instead of the woman she is today. We know you. We know the past, not the future. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's the constant blame. It's the constant. Oh, it's your fault that we didn't end up the way that we were supposed to end up. And it's like, no, boo. Maybe you are as talented as y'all two love to sit there and claim that y'all are. And you know what? It is what it is. Like the bitching, the complaining, the constant like, oh, we're not doing it your way. You want to sit there and it's just like the constant bickering. The constant bickering is enough to almost make me want to shut up the damn TV. But then I'm like, oh wait, I review these soaps for a living. But like, no, but that's the last thing. That's the last point I was up to though. And Jeff says hi, Tommy. Domax says basically Tom is a big deal because he's Claire's arch nemesis, a Hollywood's equivalent to Robert Scorpio. He grew up on the show from a little kid to an adult with a child. Same actor and everything. Yeah, that's the thing. I do, Tracy. It's just it's just one of those things where it's like seriously, those two bitter ass women just annoyed the piss out of me. But okay, yeah, no, but that's why I am. And then I don't even know these two characters' names, but like the the black chick that lives in the house with Darren and Nancy, she was gonna leave that other old guy. Um, I don't even know what his name is, and it just seemed like one of those things where it's like, why does this even matter? You know? I mean, they want to get back together, but it's like, oh, and apparently Tony and Mercedes are hooking up. I'm like, I don't know what the hell that's about. But every time they get done, they're like, he's like, oh, just make sure you don't tell Diane about it because I don't want to mess things up. I'm like, bro, the only person who's gonna mess things up is you. Now, I do think that okay, just to I do think that it's cute that people isn't that they're siding, they're picking teams, their stands or whatever. They're like, I'm Team Brooklyn, I'm Team Lulu. The other old guy, yeah, the other old guy that I can't remember his name. Mercedes is always sleeping with a new dude. I mean, my whole thing is like, I don't know the history between those two, so like, I can't really comment too much. You know. Now, Jess says Portia better confess. Hope she doesn't do that to Michael. She should totally do that to Michael. She should totally do that to Michael because Drew is making her do it. And Portia is so much of a goddamn coward. See, here's my thing with Portia and Nina. They're both. Tommy says, "I need a Mercedes Benz." Don't we all, Tommy? Don't we all need a Mercedes Benz? Tommy is a car person. I didn't get a chance to check out his Instagram because well, he has some friend requested me, um, but yeah, no, I don't know their history, so it's hard to really like. They just keep hooking up and stuff like that. I'm just like, okay, guts. What does that mean? That's my whole thing though. Like, Domex says Tony has a big relationship with Mercedes' sister Jack. It's almost like Belle sleeping with EJ. Okay, now let me ask you a question, Domex. Is Tony and Freddie? Oh no, no, Tony and Freddie aren't brothers, right? That's the thing, though. Everyone that needs exactly like Tommy's not there talking about new cars and everything like that. I wanted Mark. Let me tell you something, man. I wanted Marco to escape like there was no tomorrow. I really did. Um, okay, now Jay Blue says so. Curtis planning on to throwing Nina under the bus. Darren and Freddie are brothers. Tony and Freddie are really okay. All right, I wasn't too sure at one point because I was like, I don't know why Dolomitics, but it made me sit there and think about This Is Us. But okay. All right. Now Tommy says, I'm a car guy, just wish they showed more cars in the soap wars and just did we need to see what our character car are driving. Oh, I get it, Tommy. I get it. I like cars. Yes, so that's the first problem. Yes, that's the first problem. Is that him doing that, him making Michael look bad? There's always a possibility he's going into foster care. Yes, I heard about that. I mean, he kept sitting there saying it. And Bobby is his son, right? Bobby is Mercedes' son, right? Yes, I can, cat lady. Yes, I can, Miss Sassy. That is absolutely 100% true. Just like I can dance too. So that's something else I can do too. Just in case you were wondering. Like John fucking Travolta, or how do you pronounce his name? Um, okay. So I'm gonna talk a little about yesterday's episode, particularly when Drew called out Carly. Okay. Just as no one wants to see you dance. Well, plenty of people saw me dance at the wedding, and I was fantastic. Oof, I was killing the girl. It's not a lie because it was true because it happened. I should know I was there. What's good, Duane? In a sense, Drew kind of exposed himself. I had this train of thought of mine when I was sitting there doing my review yesterday. And like I said, Kylie, I was cutting it out, girl. Kylie, you stop it. What's good, Duane? I wish I could dance. LOL. Oh, listen, like I said, I was tearing that shit up. Absolutely. But yeah, Scott Lady, I was dancing it up. Like it was. I mean, I surprised myself. Dominic says not out getting jiggy with it. Did you hit them with the electric slide or the YMC? Listen, I was killing it. I mean, it was like magic. It was like pure magic. I mean, it was amazing. I literally impressed myself. I mean, to be fair, I kind of impress myself sometimes with the reviews I do because I swear sometimes, like, Domex says the chat wasn't at this imaginary wedding, so how do we know you're telling the truth? You just have to take me at my word for my excellent, stellar reputation. Obviously, Tommy says, Cat is so ungrateful, brat. I can't stand Cat. Cat went too far because she hurt her dad's business by trying to make evil look bad. I like Cat. She's a boss girl. Cat lady, like I said, you should have saw me. I mean, it was. I mean, girl, I was magic. But that's beside the point, though. Now, Ed says, speaking of Drew, I'm gonna get to Drew in a minute. Sean says I have no red. I was not too sure. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna sit there and doing this damn floor or whatever, but like once I started, I mean, it just. Max says if you didn't go home with a couple of dollars in your waistband, you weren't there. That is the best comment of the night, Dolmatic. Seriously, I love that shit. As says Nina told Tracy she's meaning oh she's messing with the wrong B. Okay, Nina, you could just expose yourself. Yeah, and that's see that's the thing though, right? This is my issue with Nina. I'm gonna get to the Drew thing in a second. This is my issue with Nina because you wanna such a bad girl. Um, straighten you out. You claim to love your daughter. Seriously, you claim to love your daughter. If you loved your daughter and you really want to get your daughter away from a toxic man like Drew, then do it. You know? It's like you're afraid of the consequences, but like, woman the fuck up. It's the same thing with Doug. Doug, you have these two girls that are kept hostage. You can end this at any point in time, or you can at least sit there and get Maggie involved. You can get Gabby involved. Well, why don't you want to do that? Why don't you want to do that? Oh, because I don't want them to yell at me and I don't want to get in trouble. You're a fucking loser. Nina, in the same sentence, you are a goddamn loser. And I like Nina, but like, girl, for somebody who claims to love their daughter, it's like, I'm going to lose her. It's better to lose. Okay, how much do you care about her? Do you care more about her or do you care more about what she's going to give you? That's my issue. Daughter says, Albert, do you need some time alone with the person you love the most? Too bad it isn't Cali. Fuck those kids. Nina, go live your life. Just as she is a loser. Listen, let's okay. You know what? Just let's just be honest. Let's just be clear for a hot minute. I'm gonna piss some people off. Jess and Cat Lady, Nina beat the living bricks out of Carly. Okay, Carly was not the tough chick that y'all love to sit there and parade around. Nina whooped that ass. Okay, let's be very clear about that. It was because of Jocelyn that stopped the ass whooping that Carly got. So let's just be very clear about that. What's good, Kaiwan? But you know, Tomek says we were just talking about this in the cases flashing last night. They teased us, but Nina isn't really about that life. She won't do anything. Got us wishing she was still Annie Dunn from Gone Light. I'm about to find a way to try to do a reaction video. Well, I mean, if you mean here we go with the truth, here we go with the delusion, then sure, yeah. And Kylie says, "What the F that got to do what we're talking about right now?" Um, Nothing. I just want to sit there and point that out. Come on now, let's be real. Oh no, Darby, it's not nonsense. It's true. It's true. She knows it's the truth. She don't like to hear the truth, but she also doesn't like to admit when she's wrong, which is like almost never. So you gotta just seriously, you kind of just Now I disagree with that, Spider. I heavily disagree with that. Emma would have been too much of an obvious choice for a WSB agent. Jocelyn makes sense and is giving her a story. Also, this is something that DC said. Kelly, I'm gonna straighten you out later on. Okay? You just wait. I'm gonna straighten your ass out later on. But this is what DC said, and this made perfect sense. And if you're a member, you can sit there and actually watch the whole video. But DC made a really interesting point because he sat there and said, "Jay Blue says I disagree. The fight was after all." Oh, Jay Blue, that made me laugh. That was good. I like that. That that. Let me tell you something, Jazz. Don't nobody care about Vaughn. Vaughn is a better boyfriend than Dex is. Vaughn is a way better boyfriend than Dex is. There's no, no, no. Because Vaughn holds Jocelyn's feet to the goddamn fire. So we're not going to sit there. Nah, Jess, you're going to put some respect on his name. Calais, she joking. Chat, she is joking. Jay Blue says, I disagree with that too. I missed that. Oh man, that's hilarious. That's good. I like that. I mean, I'm over Stephanie as a character in general. And if we're gonna be honest, I've been over Stephanie. Um, I'm just saying, Sean. I'm just saying, you know what cat lady is. She loves to joke and everything. No, 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 no. See, Cat Lady was on one yesterday. Don't don't do that. Don't do that, Jess. Don't agree with her. But I mean, she was in there talking about how she wanted Cat to go. I'm like, nah. Okay, I'm gonna say this again. Kai helps the channel. Kai did what he thought was right at the moment. And Kai didn't actually have all the information. So part of me kind of sat there looking at this like I don't understand why people sit there coming at Kai's neck like that. Like in a sense. Then land UPN. I can't sense Steffi. She like to control her husband and tell her what to do. Yeah, I don't like Steffi either. Tommy. Steffi is controlling. I doubt it. I doubt it, Ed. I think the size difference is just too big, you know. Tracy says, "What do you think about Kai and Trina's relationship?" Um, it's okay. I mean, I don't really do. It's okay. I'm not a relationship person, but yeah, I mean, like I said, they're okay. I don't think that. I think that Kai messed up in a sense, but like he didn't know all the information. Darby, I think that Jess is a little bit too intimidated by me. So yeah, that's just how it is, and I get it, you know. Dominic says I can't get over how Al is suddenly a Cat Richardson supporter. Listen, she's annoying as fuck. She is annoying, but she makes the show interesting, and she got that boss girl energy that I can't deny that, you know. In what world? The one that we live in. Where have you been at? Where you been at, Jess? It's okay. You just admit it. It'll just be so much more freer. Him and his eyebrows can move to DC with Drew. Oh, come on. Don't do that. Tommy says, I'm Team Eva. I like that, Tommy. That's good. I like that. That was funny. I like that. What's good, Krista? I mean, yes, that's true, Ed. I do understand skill and stuff like that. I just I don't know about Tate. Like, I mean, I don't even really like Tate that much, but like Tate was actually don't do that to us. Um, but Tate was actually right. Tate was actually right. You know, Doug was no good for Holly. It was Krista, Stella and Curtis scene was pointless. If we're gonna be honest, Stella and Curtis scene was pointless. Tommy says Eva feels remorse, unlike Leslie. Crazy ass don't feel bad for her. Okay, now Dominic says Kat draws me up a wall, but the actress is so damn likable. I follow her on Instagram, and she seems so chill compared to Kat. I mean, yeah, Kat is a lot. She is definitely extra. Okay? But then, like, at least she does stuff. Like, let me put it this way. Okay, you know what, Cat Lady, this is your fault. And at this point, we've known each other long enough that I don't have to sit there and say, I don't have to sit there and explain it. You sure already know. Uh, but the hell was I was going to sit there and say? Cat gotta go. No, 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 no. Come on. Let's not go crazy now. Let's not, let's not lose our heads here. I mean, if anyone got to go, it got to be Chelsea. What are you talking about? You wanna have Cat go and keep Chelsea? What's good, Black Mon? How are you doing tonight? It says, how long until you see Ashley getting her face cracked when she finds out about Andre and Danny? I think it's gonna be hilarious. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like she doesn't deserve again. Ashley doesn't deserve a good guy. Okay, she treated what you call it like Cat is a Victor Newman. I like Victor Newman now. Nobody says I haven't I haven't heard you use that expression nearly over a mouth. What expression? What voice check? What did I say? You want to keep Chelsea instead? I'm doing good. I'm doing good, Black Man. I had off. I can see them doing that. I think what what they do is that they watch my live streams and sometimes they watch my videos and they know I talk about Chelsea and just how much of a shitty character she is. So, Joe says Cat, Doug, Chelsea, Derek, and Ashley got to go, and that Tyrell. Okay, okay, Chelsea. Okay, Doug, Derek, Ashley, and that Tyrell. All right, we can keep Cat, but the rest of them can go. But exactly, Tommy. I agree with Joe, except for Cat. Cat got to stay. Cat got that boss chick energy. We Need more Naomi scenes. I guess. I guess. I feel like Danny was actually pointless in this episode. It's like she just came in towards the end. I'm just like, what was the point of her being here? I mean, other than just to collect a paycheck. You know? Other than just collecting the paycheck, I don't really see the point. But I didn't talk about this yesterday because I wasn't here yesterday. But I do think that Sonny's Nadir taking Marco was an acidine move. Um, because I'm like, bro, did your son not just get out of a hospital with like third-degree burns on his body and stuff like that, and you felt that Sitwell might have been responsible? Danny did not need to be in this episode. No, he did not. No, she did not. And like I said, Vernon's an idiot. And I'm gonna sit there and say this shit again for the new people that came in. Vernon is a goddamn moron. All we had to do was sit there and just give him money. Bro, you gave him money like 2 years ago and I didn't do shit. You came right back. Did you not learn anything from your last encounter? Did you not learn anything from Leslie? Gave her money too and a threat, and she still came back years later on. I, I know he's like about the whole. Well, that's the point. She wants her check. But like I said, it was. I get that, but it was a pointless scene. Though. Like I said, I should tell you, Stella being in this episode was just pointless. If we're gonna be honest, he was getting my damn nerves too, Jess. I'm like, it's not that getting all that, getting all in Bill's face talking about, well, you should have did this, and I have the power. I was like, bro, if you had the power, you wouldn't need Bill. And where has this power gotten you at? Like the guy is still there. The racist guy is still there. You paid him off and you came back. So where's your power? Oh, I need you to sit there and fix this. Jigru says, I agree. That's why I wanted Marco to get away. Fake burn. She was safe behind that bar until Marco came in with a blanket. Oh, yeah, because Christina's an idiot. Let's just be real. Christina is a moron. June starts. Exactly. Everyone want to read this shit. Exactly. Exactly. Kelly says June story probably going to be a letdown. I feel it. Yeah. I mean, I'm not exactly a huge fan of June anyway. And I know Dolomedics and some other people have sat there and said like, well, listen, um, Naomi took the case because she does this stuff or whatever, but like, yeah, you call Bill. What do you think you're gonna want to get? You got the truth, Jay from Martin. Yeah, and it was it was one is what I already is what I said was going to wind up happening. That it was self defense by some Proud Boys. Oh, that's what the fuck I was going. God damn it. Drew said something yesterday. He was like, "Well, Carly sat there and said that you're the problem with this whole thing. As far as like." We don't have a problem with Willow seeing the kids. We just have a problem with you being there. And Drew's like, you're a hypocrite because you've been letting Sonny in your life for a long time and see what it did to your kids. And I'm like, wait, hold on. Drew, in the same breath, while you was right about calling out Carly for being a hypocrite, you practically just admitted that you're part of the problem about why Willow can't see her kids. She can't see her kids because of you. And why you want to sit there and call out Carly for being a hypocrite for, saying that well, Willow made a lot of bad decisions and that's why she can't see her kids, and you made a lot of bad decisions because of, what happened to your kids. It doesn't negate that in the same sentence you practically said that you are the reason, you're part of the reason why. And what's that? You don't want me to start on Carly. And that's mm-mm. I've been drinking. You no, 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 no. I love you, girl, but I will come at Carly with the goddamn thunder. Michael don't want Willow around Drew. Yeah, exactly. Kelly says, St. Allison. Kelly says after what Drew did to that boy, you're gonna act like he should be around. But actually, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. Did anyone actually pick up on what I said? Of course, Jonathan. And I knew that they were going to sit there and drop the ball. It's Born and Beautiful. They did the same thing with Granddad. What I said, okay, I'm going to sit there and say this again, because that's, no, let me put this as an example. What I said was that while Drew called out Carly for being a hypocrite, what she was, because Carly was like, hey, listen, we don't have a problem with Willow seeing the kids. We have a problem with you being in Willow's life. Okay? You being in Willow's life is a bad influence on Willow. And this is the reason why she lost the kids. I hear what you're saying. God damn it. Thank you, Jay Blue. I was talking to a fucking vacuum. Thank you. Um, I'm like, Drew, you just exposed yourself. You literally just sat there and said, well, yeah, Sunny was a problem and Carly with the kids, but you're a problem with Willow when it comes towards the kids. You just literally sat there and said that right to Carly because, yeah, you called her a hypocrite, but you also called out yourself, and I don't even think you realized that. And I wanted to sit there and say that in the review yesterday, but I forgot to sit there and say. I guess I just got so lost in the sauce with everything else. Kelly says, "I heard what you said. I heard what you said, sir. That comment was beforehand. Okay, I just want to make sure that you know. But like I said, that's the point. Is that what, Jonathan? You know what I'm glad about? You know what I'm glad about in that whole thing? I'm glad that Bill was able to find a way to save Liam. Because now those two stupid hyenas known as Steppy and Hope, when they start coming at Bill, I want Bill to sit there and say, unless either one of you two idiots have $1 million to sit there, had $1 million to pay that doctor, I need both of y'all to simply shut the up. Because that's what it comes down to, Jonathan. That's what it literally comes down to. He had the means, he had the money, and this is a bullshit story, but it is what it is. He had the funds to sit there and save him. While all those two idiots did is is Luna. So is Luna really going to what? They didn't say. I mean, they're the cover story is that Luna's dead. The fans are saying that Lee has practically, is going to smuggle Luna out the country or whatever. Because she sat there and said, poor Luna, she never really had a chance. was such a basuda mother, but they never actually showed her doing it yet. This is just what the fans of Smith are saying. Dollar Bill has the dollar bills, exactly. So both of those two idiots. Kelly says gonna miss Luna. I wanted her and Sheila to tear up the whole town together. Jay Blue says Kai almost caught Drew when he was entering Portia's office. Almost, but that's what I'm saying, Jay Blue. He doesn't have all the information. And people are sitting there coming at Kai's neck like, yes, I get it. He betrayed her trust. When he sat there, he saw a situation that he didn't like, that he felt like wasn't right. And he was like, you know what, listen, I'm going to step up and I'm going to do something because Drew has been good to me. I've had a good experience with Drew. I don't want anything to happen to Drew or Willow or Scout. So my whole thing is like, he stood on his principles. And sometimes, listen, you may not always. I've had enough alone. I have to, just, and that's mostly because she started to become very Nell Benson after a while. As the thing that Drew is, he wants to be the hero, and he thinks everything he's doing is right, and he's self-serving because he only cares about what makes him look good. Yes. But to be fair, Ed, and listen, I'm gonna sit there and say this, and I know it's gonna piss off a lot of people, and I really don't give a shit because um, I'm going to be the new prince of pissing people off. Carly, here's what I need you to do. Okay? Drew, for all his faults, and he has a lie, Drew went to jail for something that Carly did. Okay, the insider trading stuff. Okay, he went to jail for her. Now she may want to sit there and say, "Well, he just want to play the martyr." But honestly, to tell you the truth, I wish he had a goddamn DeLorean. I wish he had a DeLorean. This way, he can go back in time and let Carly go to jail for the crime that she actually did commit. Because while in no shape way I'm Smith is saying that Drew's a good person, Drew did sacrifice his freedom and time with his daughter so Carly could sit there and be with hers. And now she wants to sit there and try to go back and act like what he did wasn't, wasn't good or anything like that. And that's what we're not going to do. That's what we're not going to do. So, like, Carly pissed me off. She annoyed the shit out of me in that step. And Carly still won, and Nina still won that fight. Jess said, how you made this about Carly, LOL, hold you accountable. I don't understand the sentence. How you made this about Carly, LOL, hold you accountable. Hold you accountable for what? What do you mean hold you accountable? What does that mean? I've been holding Drew accountable throughout this entire stream. Like, what are you talking about? Yes, Nina did it. I'm just saying, like, I don't understand the sentence. You had to stick that in. You goddamn right, Jay Blue. I had to stick that at the end. Damn right I did. I'm so glad you noticed, Jay Blue. You're fucking awesome. We do too, so we won't have to see Drew this much. I think you kind of missed the sentence what I just said, my love, but okay. Toby says I agree with you, Albert, about Kai. In Kai's mind, he thought he was looking out for his only real friend in town. All mean spirited stranger. It's not easy to be friends. It says, I mean, yes, Nina won that. Goddamn right, Ed. Absolute Drew, Ed, you're a very smart man. Jez says, how you blaming Carly for Drew going to prison? So he chose to down his own. No, I'm not blaming. Here's the thing. I'm not blaming Carly for Drew choosing to go to prison. What I'm saying is that she sat there and said She turned his sacrifice into something more along the lines of, well, you only did that to play hero. This is what she said. You only did that to play hero, to stroke your ego or whatever. I was like, no, boo boo. We're not going to sit there and turn what he did for you not going to jail for the fucking crime that you committed. For the crime that you committed, that you should have went to jail for. You didn't go to jail for that because of Drew. You're not going to sit there and turn his sacrifice and make it seem like, oh well, he only did because he had a hero's complex. He was a narcissist. Regardless, even if you may sit there and say that he went to jail, so you didn't have to. So you don't get to sit there and start mouthing off. That's what I had an issue with, and I just felt like saying it for some odd reason. Oh, Ed, I gotta sit there. I gotta sit there. Man, I gotta sit there and find that. We can sit there and play that in the stream. At least that part. I know YouTube has actually been kind of lenient with me, so let's just. People who say she does like to play the hero, though, she didn't have to say it. I get that, J Blue, but that's my point is that you know we're not gonna sit there and downplay his sacrifice. That's my issue. Kelly said just like old Jack said, Drew is a man with a plan. He has been planning all of this for a very long time. Jay, Tommy says, can we talk? I don't know. Okay, here's the thing, Tommy. I feel like you're talking with your emotions. I feel like most people are kind of talking with their emotions. Oh no, Ed, I can find it. I can find it. And Carly was right. Drew needed to be a hero against for his plans. Suck it up. No, no. Actually, tell you the truth, what Carly needs to do, Carly needs to suck it up, and she needs to sit there and go to jail for a fucking crime that she committed. Okay, she should have sucked it up, and she should have sat there and went to jail for a crime that she committed. But Drew decided to step in. So no, 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 no. That's what we're not gonna do. Didn't you once say you would go to jail for a woman too? Yeah, exactly. I did, Darby, and I still stand by that. Well, of course, depending if they're hot, obviously, Darby. But Tommy says, can we talk about how Ted can step up as a father, unlike Finn? Ted Richardson can step up for a father, unlike Finn on Born the Beautiful. Is that what we're talking about, Tommy? Darby says, couldn't have been me going because I ain't going to jail for any woman. Well, it depends if they're hot enough. Kelly says, yes, the F we are going to downplay it because it's all gaslighting. You know what? I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. Now we are looking at this with clues all up in the clouds, not knowing how to read a damn room. He is tricking everyone. You know what, Cat Lady, you are lucky you would have loved my life. Oof. Have a good night, Ed. Thank you for joining. Big Blue says I can't go to jail for no one. And that's good. I mean, like I said, they're hot. Eagle says, are you the Curtis of relationship, JK? You don't have to answer that. Listen, I'm the person that lays down the law, Eagle. I'm the person that lays down the law and hold my partner's feet to the fire. Unlike Dex, who just let Jocelyn get away with every goddamn thing that she said and did. That's why I fucking like Vaughn. Because Vaughn would sit there and hold that chick's feet to the fire. Dex didn't do that shit. So I'm here for Vaughn. And you know what? You know what? I'm gonna sit there and take this a step further. Y'all ready for this? Allison says I wouldn't go to jail for anyone out there. I respect that. I feel like the people that okay, I don't know if I should sit there and say this. I don't know if I should sit there and say this. He says, without EJ, how bad would days be? I think that days would still be good. EJ definitely does add a spice to the show. He definitely does add a spice to the show. But unlike Sunny, I do feel like the show could hold its own. The show could hold its own a lot better than like without Sunny on GH. Because I know people just say the minute that Sunny is going, I'm gonna sit there and start watching GH. I'm gonna start watching GH when Sunny's going. How did Jocelyn rule Dex? I don't think that Jocelyn necessarily ruled Dex, but I just feel that Dex gave Jocelyn a lot of passes. If you notice okay, you know what? I'll give you an example. Let's sit there and take a look at the training montage. Dex would have been a lot easier on Jocelyn than Vaughn. Johnson says, when do we launch Judge Albert? Listen, I'm judging these characters right now. I will hold their goddamn feet to the fire. Then some. Dory says I can see as many hot women on the outside of the jail because if you go to jail, I will look at your woman for free. See, just as pass for what exactly? Give an example. Well, I mean, I just felt like a lot of times when Jocelyn would sit there and act like bratty and stuff like that, Dax would just sit there and take it for the most part. John, Vaughn would not do that. Vaughn calls her Jack for a reason. Yeah, she's hot and she's pretty and stuff like that. But he will sit there and what about Drew? I don't understand. What about Drew? I mean, absolutely. I don't. I don't know what you're talking about, Darby. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what does that mean? Eagle says, "Cat the snitch. What is the point of this character on the show?" Oh, Cat just said, "Just turn him or Anakin at this point." Turn. Yes. No, I know what Anakin means. I do need to go back and actually finish watching those Star Wars movies. I think you kind of gave me a great idea this weekend, Eagle. If I get time. I'm just saying, you can't remember that. I thought it was hilarious. No, that's not true. That's not true, Calvin. I mean, my point is that I feel like Vaughn holds Jocelyn's feet to the fire. Dax does not. Dax will sit there and give her passes. Okay, he will. He doesn't go. He doesn't go home. He doesn't. This dude was literally willing to sit there and snitch on Sonny, go to the police, confess and cry and everything like that, just to sit there and get back his girl. But Vaughn won't do that. And now Callie is going to sit there and make me say something that's going to get my ass canceled. Johnson says, "What do you think of Portia's meltdown today?" I thought it was hilarious. Because the thing is, Jonathan, I don't feel bad for Portia. Portia put herself in this position when she changed the test results. Portia kept herself in this position when she knew that Drew had something against her, and she decided not to sit there and do anything. She kept sitting there doing Drew's bidding. So I didn't feel bad for her. Her breaking stuff and yelling and crying and screaming. I'm like, girl, you have an option. You have a way out. You just have to woman up, put on your fucking big girl pants, and own it. Whoever says Abiuli said yes, damn, I love cat lady. Why is every child? I didn't realize I did that. I mean, it's cat lady, she's hot, so. But I would still hold her. I would still hold cat lady's feet to the fire. How many coats have you had? Two, two, or one and a half. I don't remember. It's between one and a half or two. I don't remember. But I'm still coherent and I'm still making sense. So Ego says, I'm about to say, name a duo you want to join forces on the East Slope as a team or a couple. What does that mean, cat lady? Name a duo you want to join forces. Okay. Well, I don't know about a duo, but I want to join forces with EJ. I want to join forces with Sitwell. Sitwell, I want to join forces with on GH. Beyond the Gates, eh, we'll go with Bill Hamilton. We'll go with Bill Hamilton on Beyond the Gates. Born the Beautiful will be Bill. I said EJ for Dave's. Uh, yeah, yes, J Blue, yes. Sitwell. Sitwell was fun. I like Sitwell. Sitwell was fun. Obviously, on the Young and the Restless, it will be Victor Newman. Um, yeah, GH is Sitwell. Days is EJ. Weinar is Bill. Spencer. Dollar Bill. I mean, B&B. Weinar is Victor. And, okay, I kind of lost focus, but yes. Yes, the cat lady, you stop it. Who would you join for? Yes, Simple. Simple actually seems fun. AKA all the people that we hate. Yeah, but see the thing is though, cat lady, I never go with the most popular answer. I'm never one of those people that goes with the crowd. Whoever says the great Victor Newman that has no partners, Albert, you will work for him. That'd be fun. Kelly says he just do that for fun. No, I'm being dead ass serious. I'm not I'm not doing it for fun. I'm dead ass serious about that. Jay Bruce, Johnson says if EJ and Gwen join forces, they could be a powerful team. It's funny. You said that about Sloan. You remember you said that a long time about Sloan Peterson? Say your ABCs backwards. Well, to be fair, I don't know if I can actually sit there and say my ABCs backwards. So, but I'm not drunk, though. If that's what you're implying. No, love. I can hold my alcohol. But no, yeah, sit well. Yeah, sit well. Dollar bill. 'Cause I could listen. I can rock with. I couldn't rock with Reg. Okay? I damn sure couldn't rock with Deacon in real life. Carlo is 2 years older than. Oh, that's his name. Now Allison says Sitwell is fun as he's not playing cards with Lucky. He's boring. Kelly says that's great. The crowd don't want you either. Oh, oh damn. Cat lady, you love me. Okay, you love me. So. Justin says they missed an opportunity with Sloan. As I take it, I don't understand what that means. Yeah, Sloan Peterson. Oh, who was that other guy I was talking about, Jonathan? Um, he had a dual identity. You liked him. I liked him as an actor, and I thought he was a decent character. Eagle says I like Silver, but he will end up blowing down. He would end up bowing down to Sunny in the end, which is why I can't invest in his character. Well, maybe, hopefully, they will surprise us and not just have Sunny win another confrontation with another villain from, Port Charles or whatever. I would fucking love that. To put her with AJ. It's actually funny, Eagle. A couple of weeks ago, we wound up doing the stream. Everett, thank you. We wound up doing the stream, and we watched some old scenes of like they were actually fun. Which I'm actually planning some other stuff this weekend, so definitely come through. Oh, I forgot to sit down and spy on some people. Jay Blue says, when Isaiah mentioned Lucky's cabin, I wonder if that's a place where Willow would hide her kids. I don't understand how he sat there and took on a money pit, as he said, but then sat there and said, well, listen, I want to keep it because it's Lucky's. I'm like, bro, you just sat there and said that it was a money pit, that it was literally draining your goddamn wallets. Eagle says, I'm not a fan of RJ's cousin brother on this show. What is his purpose? You need to give him a storyline, a series one. Well, if you wait out a whole year like we did with Gio, you might actually get it. Johnson says Blake, aka Everett, has been nominated for a daytime Emmy. You know, I don't know if he was in the stream. I think he was in the stream on Sunday. So people sat there and they talked about Joe was playing his villain for 3 years. But you see what I'm saying, though, right? Here's my thing about the Emmys, Jonathan. People are sitting there talking about the Emmys and who got nominated and who this, that, and the third, right? Let me tell you something. I want to wait into the actual event happens because anyone can get nominated. Susan Lucci got nominated a ton of fucking times, but she only won like something a couple of years ago. So my whole thing is like I don't really care who got nominated for what or anything like that. But when they actually win, that's that's when I'm gonna care. So that's what I'm waiting. Like Days of Our Lives, I think there was like what 2 or 3 people that got nominated for something, and I'm just like, what does that mean? When is the last time that anybody from Days of Our Lives actually won a nominee or won an award at the you know no I'm seriously asking a question. When was the last time that Days of Our Lives actually won anything from the Emmys? This is only good when AJ is on the show. Okay, so Ego fan. So you tell me you don't like any other character besides EJ, which I like EJ too. But like, is there any other character that you like though? I'm trying to think of another character. Okay, so for me, I like EJ. I like Steve. I like Alex. I like Xander. I like Philip. I like Kristen. Uh, I don't know how I feel about Chad. Chad is kind of okay. Kelly says, when is the Emmys this year? I have to look that up. That's a really good question. Oh, Felicity Evil, yes. Johnson says Dick Van Dyke won for his great role as John's father. Was that last year or was that this year? It says Days 1 2018. Wow. Of course, Eagle, but that's what I'm just saying. Like, Cat Lady sat there and said that they won something 2018. Okay, screenshot this, write it down. Um, Eagle says so. September 14th is when GH will win a bunch of more. Yeah, seriously. I mean, but here's my thing though. People will sit there and say, well, GH like bought their awards, they paid for it, they bribed, blah, 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 blah. Listen, there was one year that I felt like GH was just churning out just mess, just bad shit. And Days was fucking killing it. But it is what it is. Justin says, and Grapevine won for his role as Eric not too long ago. Wow. Now, Eagle says it's not even satire at this point. Jace will dominate the Emmys. It's- I guess this is kind of the good and the bad thing about watching all the soap operas, right? Because, like, oh, Will Horton, wow. 2014, wow. Wow. Kelly says Frank gives out the best head, so he went. Okay. Kelly, first of all, Frank Valentine is a good man, okay? So we're not going to sit there and, you know, we're gonna put some respect on Frank's name. Frank does his job and he makes sure that people get the stuff that they need. He make Here's my thing. I said he was the best. He was the okay. No, nah, fuck that. I'll save that for the members. Cat lady, when you come to the members, I think you've seen it. I'm gonna let he okay. He works with his talent, right? Did anybody see the Instagram post of Kristen Storms and how she was sitting there thanking Frank Valentine for letting her take her time on coming back to the show? Anybody see that? I don't understand what those emojis mean, Kylie. What are you trying to say? Yes, we saw. Okay, so everyone saw. Okay, good. So I don't have to sit there and play it. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say I feel like Frank Valentine gets a really bad rap. Okay, good. So I'm not going to play it. I usually save that per members. So That's good. They got rid of the young performers category. Yeah. Now, Eagle says Storms has been dealing with weight loss and health issues. I can understand why she needed personal help. And the thing is, Frank Valentine gave her that, right? He worked with her. He was like, listen, you take the time that you need. When you come back, you come back. But yeah, people want to sit there and say stupid shit like, "Oh well, he got Michael fired. He fired Michael." When all you had to sit there and do was look at his in posts, where Hemsworth is saying, listen, I chose to leave and this, that, and the third. So yeah, people get mad because they don't like the stories, and I get that. And listen, at the end of the day, my beef friend with Frank, him ruining my blood. But I get that though. Like he let her go. It's not like he yeah he could have let her go. It's not like he could yeah. But my whole thing is that like I feel like he gets blamed for shit that's not necessarily always his fault. And I think that a lot of times people sit there and come at him sideways like they work for ABC. You know, you look at the Kelly Monaco situation, and people will sit there and side with Kelly. But at the same time, like you don't, unless you work at ABC Studios, you don't know everything that goes on there. What's good, Krista? They're mad at him for Kelly being fired. And that's the thing, though, Crystal. We don't know the whole story. We don't know if Kelly has something to do with her own fire. We don't know if Frank has something to do with it. We don't know because we don't can work there. But like Candace said, people love to come for the people at the top, even if they may not be guilty of what they're, um, at least what they're being said of. Kelly says after what he did to Sam and Billy. Baby girl, do you work at ABC? No, 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 fuck that. Do you work at ABC Studio? Because unless you work at ABC Studio, you don't know the whole story. We know you just nobody. Who's we? Who is this we? Who's we? Y'all work at ABC Studios now? Y'all got badges and stuff like that to sit there and prove to me. DM me those badges. If not, I don't know what you're talking about, my love. Allison says most jobs you can't just take off a few months and expect to have a job when they are. Thank you, Allison. You are fucking awesome. I'm just saying, we don't know. As a whole, we don't know. Who's we? Like, who's we? Who's we know? We know what? What do we know? I love his work, giving him a chance to read. It is great. Um, Justin says they should have at the young performers category of 14 as the age limit, then have a young adults category 15 to 25. Yes. No, I agree with that, Jonathan, wholeheartedly. I do. Because, no, seriously, Allison, because, like, I look at Ada McCoy's performance, and Ada McCoy has been giving it. But Ada McCoy was in a circle with fucking 10-year-olds. Seriously, Jonathan, she was in a circle with 10-year-olds. So, like, there's no winning. Even when she won, people sat there and was like, this is out of pocket. I clowned her a couple of times, right? Just as little jokes or whatever. But like, Have a good night, J Blue. Thank you for joining. I just, you get a pass, girl. You get a pass, and you know why you get a pass. You get a pass, but you get a pass. Though. I'm just gonna. I don't know. I mean, my point is that we don't work behind the scenes, and when people get fired and stuff like that, we don't always know the reason why. Like you look at Jermaine Rivers. Initially I said some dumb shit. I was like, oh well, he got fired because of tweets that he did. And then I had to sit there and think about it because Nikisha and Cat Lady and some other people was like, nah, that's not the case. Right? But the problem with actors getting fired is that we don't necessarily always know why. And it's very foolhardily to sit there and just start assuming why this person got fired. You know? Because that's what turns people into just toxic monsters. You don't work at the studio. I don't work at ABC. I don't work at CBS or whatever. I have no idea why they fired Jermaine Phoenix. I mean Jermaine Rivers. I have no idea. So when Cat Lady says things like this, which that's just her usual, sexy, snarky attitude, we don't know. We can guess. We can put the pieces together. And with Kelly, there's two sides to the story, or three sides, really. Kelly was not giving it her all when she did have shitty material. Kelly was not there going on Instagram and say, I'm going to sit there and say this. I'm going to sit there and say that. Girl, you shouldn't be on social media sitting there doing that dumb shit. You sound like a troublemaker. You sound like somebody who wants to sit there and cause problems. But we don't know exactly how Frank was sitting there treating Sam. We don't know that. We know that Sam we know that Kelly was not happy with Steve coming back and pushing her boyfriend to the side. We understood the frustration and anger behind that. Allison says you don't know what happened behind closed doors. Everyone wants to judge everyone when they really know not all. My and God, Allison, you're a fucking rock star. Yes, there you go. I'm gonna keep this up for. I'm just gonna keep that shit up for a hot minute because people tend to go off for emotions. No, seriously, Allison. No, I'm gonna keep that shit up for a hot minute. The voice of reason, Allison. Kelly says funny because it sounds like she wanted to tell the truth, but got bullied into that. Could what? That could be one case, or maybe she was doing some shady shit behind the scenes, and she got herself. Yes, that's a possibility. That's one possibility. And when you don't work there, the foolhardiest thing to do is to sit there and assume. See, I love this woman to death. Okay? I would do anything for her. But that doesn't, she's not wrong. That's a possibility, but that's one of many possibilities. That's the problem when you start assuming stuff. You don't know the whole story. That's where things start to get very toxic. So while I won't sit there and say that Cat Lady is entirely wrong, Like E.J. Demaris said, there's three sides to a story. And if you don't know, it's better to not really start to judge a situation. Ah, the goddamn rock. So, see, Kelly, I told you I could sit there and hold my liquor and everything. See, now I'm being petty. But still, like, you're like, oh, how many cups did you have? Like, just saying. So, Allison says, yeah, assume nothing unless you were there. You don't know the whole story. Yes. Kelly says, I judge whatever the F I want. Ooh, I judge whatever the F I want. Thanks. Hmm, that's hot. Okay. Tommy says, Albert, do you think Nicole is going to divorce Ted when Martin's secret comes? Yes. I think that's a high possibility because that Eva stuff already. What's good, Lisa? That Eva stuff already was enough to sit there and send them into a divorce. So if that didn't do the trick, and she finds out that Ted knew about, oh no, it's a wrap. It is a Rizza. See, I would sit there and think that Jess would oppose it, but I think that Jess is probably asleep at this point. That seemed like a quite amount of work to sit there and put back in my ear. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be a Rizza. Oh, Lord. Nicole, Tommy says, I like Nicole. I like Nicole up until the point where she starts being extra and she starts to just be kind of annoying. Then her voice does this high pitched shit that is just, oof. And then that's where I just start to just fucking lose it. Lisa says, Bo was good today. Bo was, what did Lisa, what did you like about Bo? What did you like about Bo? I don't wanna be Mr. Rain on your parade. So what did you like about Bobo today? What did you like about Bobo? Curiously. So Allison says other than GH, what's the best song? Um Other than GH, what's the best song? Days of Our Lives. Seriously, Allison, I will always sit there and champion Days of Our Lives. I will always champion Days of Our Lives. Because I feel like Days of Our Lives is one of those shows that could really compete with General Hospital. I really do. It does take a hot minute to sit there and kind of like, you know, for me, it took about a week. Yeah, it took about a week. Yeah, I heard about that, Jonathan. I did. I mean, I kind of feel like if they go that route, it's just going to be another. In my eyes, it's going to be another demerit for Beyond the Gates. And my opinion of Beyond the Gates isn't really that high to begin with. So like, you know, Allison says I could try to watch it again, even though most characters I know are gone. No, and trust me, I get it. I get it. Um, it's like when I sat there, like Allison, I took a break from watching for like a little bit. And I would come back and I would sit there and look at some of the characters and be like, hmm, I don't know. And I did that a little bit with GH. Like I took a break. I came back. There was characters on the show that I didn't really know that much about. So it was like, but General Hospital is cool. It's still a show that I love. So Lisa says Bill paid big money for an experiment. They removed the tumor, just like Eric. Just like Eric, Lisa. See, they did the same thing. They disappointed the fans. I sat there and I knew that, I knew on a subconscious level they're not going to follow through with killing off Leo. Just like they didn't kill off, I thought Granddad, but Eric. Johnson says in 2022, Days was more interesting than GH. I think I was actually, I think I was actually watching it. As I told you, Jonathan might have been right because I was watching it in that time period. Allison says I don't have Peacock. See, it's days on YouTube because I don't have Peacock. Yeah, it's hard. I'm not gonna lie, Allison. It's hard to sit there and watch days on YouTube. It is, and that's the thing, though, Allison. Because see, like, okay, I'm thinking in my house. Okay, so if I can't recommend Days of Our Lives, I'm not recommending Beyond the Gates. So it's just between Bold and the Beautiful and Young and the Restless. And I guess I would go with Young and the Restless because it's just easy. Young and the Restless is 30 minutes, and if you watch it, um, if you DVR or whatever, it's like 18 minutes. Young and the Restless does take a while to get into. It does take a little bit of time to get into. So I wouldn't recommend, if I had to recommend between Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful, I'm taking a couple of breaks from Jade, but not long with them. Yeah, Allison. So I suggest you hosted then go with Bold and the Beautiful. As much as I love Young and Restless, I just feel like Bold and the Beautiful will give you that decent story in about 30 minutes, give or take. Yeah, that's my recommendation. Seriously, that's my recommendation. See, now Tommy says YNR, and the thing about YNR is that I can tell people sit there and watch it because it does have substance, it does have some good character. But the thing is, Tommy, is that YNR actually takes a bit to get used to. Like it takes a bit to sit there and get into. YNR, you know what I'm saying? Like YNR has it's a slow burn. Okay, like the stories are a little bit slow to get into. I was just thank you. I just need something I can do. Yeah, no. Yeah, B&B. Okay, now Tommy says, "Why no, Sophia? Why do people give it so much hate?" I don't think it's well. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. People do actually give it a certain level of hate, but like, I think they're just not used. YNR is a much slower storytelling show. Right? It's a slow burn, and if you can appreciate a slow burn story, then it could be for you. gotta learn who the folks are. Yeah, exactly. You say if you are a person that likes things at a little more of a slower pace, which is nothing wrong with that, but why not? Back in the day, in the year 2000, 1990, or whatever, you had different soaps on, and they moved at a different speed. All My Children was another slow burn storyline in a sense. All My Children was kind of like Y&R in a sense. They would set up their stuff, and then the thing is, when Y&R starts to move fast, it starts to get really good. It gets really good. And that's the same thing with All My Children. So it's not so much that people are really hating on All My Children. I don't mind if people say it's too boring. It's just a slower beat. That's all. And it's not bad for people who want to watch a slower show. Beyond the Gates in a sense is a little bit like that, and that's fine. For people that wants the action and the suspense right away, you go to GH. At some point you would go to Days for more of like somewhat the supernatural stuff, but also more of a blend of more like the Live. I mean, seriously, it was almost like the equivalent in some ways between Passions and more like the Live. You just have to find a soap opera that matches you. And why not is not that a lot of people don't have patience for. Exactly, Tommy. That's fine, Tommy, because it's like Y&R and GH are the opposites of the spectrum, and it really depends on what you want. That's why I watch GH as fast paced. Exactly, Allison. And some people will watch Y&R because it's a slower pace. And again, don't get me wrong. When Y&R starts moving, it starts moving. There's times I'll sit there and look at GH like, yo, Y&R was actually a good episode. What you got for me, GH? DC Soul Sanctuary. How the hell are you? I was just went there talking about you about this weekend without getting into too much details. I'm getting used to it. Exactly, Tommy. And that's the thing, though. Like each soap opera. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta actually use that. What did you say? Everything bad. No, no. I was using it as an example. I don't remember what it was, but I use you as an example for something. We were talking about something, and I use what you said as an example. Okay. All right. Uh, yeah. Let's all say goodbye to. Oh yeah, DC doesn't really know. Well, I guess it's going to be a spoiler for DC. that was the same for me, and that was the same for me with Dave. It took about a week, give or take. It took a little bit more if we're going to be honest, right? But yes, essentially, yes. That's the same. There we go. But no, that was the same for me and Days. It takes a while. Once you know the players, why not with another show? I mean, if you're going to be honest, when it comes towards the soap stuff and the reviewing and everything like that, but like why not? Yeah, it took a while. But once you know to set up the characters, the players, and stuff like that, you get an idea of who you like, who you don't like. You get an idea of who these characters like and who they don't like. Once you do that, you can get it in your show. If they aren't any good, they don't last long. Now, Tommy says it was too short for Damien. Why not replace him with the whole cast? No, they want to get rid of the character, right? They want to get rid of the character. Again, this is why I sit there and I think like they're gonna get rid of Chance. Tommy says I grew up with wine. I remember seeing it as a kid. My grandma once watched it. She did. I didn't like Bold and the Beautiful. I mean, yeah, I get it. Um, look at Tracker or Tucker. Are you talking about Tucker or Tracker? DC, are you still in the chat, or did you up and leave? Very curious. I don't understand. You just said look at Tracker. That's what I'm sitting there thinking. Adam was fired. Fired. Now he got his own show. All right. I'm gonna sit there in the stream here. I do got to sit there and call back my dad, and I should probably not sleep too late. So I'm gonna end the stream here. But I do want to thank everyone for joining now. This was a hell of a lot of fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Dolomedics. Make sure to shout him out for his generosity. I hope somebody got the members thing. Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, my gorgeous Queen Cat Lady. Um, gorgeous Queen Cat Lady. Have a good night, Queen Jess. Cherry Ice Cream. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Seriously, thank you. Tommy, have a good night, Tommy. Have a good night, Queen of the South. Have a good night, Darby. Have a good night, Dolomedics. Have a good night, Jonathan. Everybody else, you know who you are. I missed you. Um, have a good night, and I will see you in the next stream. Laters.